Your Eminence Cardinal Dolan and members of the clergy, Mayor Adams, Dominique, Danielle, Anna, Jeffrey, Jason's extended family and friends, members of the 3-2 Precinct and Jason's Police Academy Company 2062, residents of Harlem, Washington Heights, Inwood, all of our communities, and everyone touched so deeply by Jason's life as well as his passing. En nombre del Departamento de Policía en Nueva York, que él amó y por él que dio su vida, les expreso mis más profundas condolencias. This has always been a city of lights, and police officer Jason Rivera was one of its brightest. His family was sure to tell us that his nickname was Tata, but that changed. His nickname became Jason, and Tata was his real name. In neighborhoods across this city, Tata is being remembered in lights. Many are blue to show overwhelming support. Thousands are candles held at vigils, placed outside of his precinct, his home, and in the place where he and police officer Wilbert Mora answered their final call for service. To do a job that everyone knew was all he ever wanted to do. His father, Danielle, said that it was far too many times that when he was a police officer, he worked late. And every night, his mother, Anna, would stand and look out her front living room window, worrying and watching as Jason found a parking space. She'd then stay in the window and turn on her cell phone flashlight to wave at him in the window until Jason would turn his on and wave back. She was there every time. Her light would lead him home. By all accounts, Jason was wise beyond his years. His level of maturity at such a young age was noted repeatedly by his colleagues, who remember how much they learned by simply being around him, working side by side. He cherished the company of his colleagues, his brothers and sisters in blue. But wisdom is a process. According to his brother Jeffrey, when Jason was a child, he played multiple sports, and he wholeheartedly loved the New York Mets because he didn't know any better. He said when Jason began to grow up and realize that he wanted to be successful, he became a Yankees fan. The son of an immigrant, he acutely observed a need in his community. He knew that decisions and changes are made by those who show up, so he suited up. With an unrelenting instinct to help others, Jason did everything he had to do to join the New York City Police Department. It was a star to catch, a goal to score. It was the same with his wife, Dominique. He adored her since they were children. She was the inextinguishable light in his life. In only 22 years, Jason found the woman and the career of his dreams. Many don't accomplish that in their entire lifetimes. He was a man of unbounded generosity, humble of heart. He showed us how to be better. His selfless acts of humility have been remembered over the past week. The 3-2 Precinct has been flooded with calls, visits, and a tremendous amount of outpouring support from the community, both near and far. His loss is extremely difficult for us all to bear. Jason rose to every challenge that crossed his path. He was everything the city and the NYPD needed him to be. And it is with sincere admiration and appreciation that I promote him today to Detective First Grade. We may not match the sacrifice made by Jason, but we can try to match his incredible sense of service. We may not match his courage, but we can try to match his passion. As a city and as a police department, we owe all these things to Jason, Rivera, and Wilbert Mora. We owe it to their families for their sacrifice. The horror that took their lives is an affront to every decent, caring human being in this city and beyond. Their assassinations, the dousing of Jason's 1,000-watt smile that lifted the spirits of those fortunate enough to know him, shocks sensibilities and leads others to despair. The criminals in this city who would victimize and instill fear in innocent people, who would seek to harm any police officer and rip away two promising protectors, sons, brothers, and a husband from their families and friends. Those who seek to dim the beacons of hope across these 5 boroughs, look outside. Hear our voices. See the presence in this cathedral. The NYPD will never give up this city. We will always prevail. We prevail because we stay united and strong. And it is because the spirit of Tata is in the bones of every single police officer. It's in the hearts of his family. It's in the mountain of sympathy and support of countless New Yorkers across this city and people all over the world. Jason's light will shine on. Senora Rivera, we can never replace Tata's light that he waved to you at night. But there's a glowing wave of blue outside, of gray, of brown and green, a mosaic of men and women in uniform with the shine of tears in their eyes and a glint of daylight on their shields. As the turret lights escort your family, they honor our brother today. Know that they will forever beam in salute to the son you gave in service to this city. It is the light that never fails. And the truly finest members of the 3-2 and the entire NYPD will proudly carry on the extraordinary legacy of Detective First Grade, Jason Rivera. Familia Rivera, los amamos y seremos su familia para el resto de la vida. Gracias.
Magnificent.